Hello, guys, and welcome to Odds on Bundesliga match day 3. And I'm happy to say hello to our German expert and, of course, ACCA expert, 2 out of 2. Radek, hello, how are you?
Hey, Eduardo. Happy to have you back, and I hope you enjoyed your holiday and you're full of power to go to game day 3 now.
Exactly, with Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund on top, things don't change if we change the season. But let's analyze this match day with Radek and with you guys. Remember to leave your comments, your tips, press the like, tell your friends, so we can keep growing and we can keep analyzing the games. For instance, on Friday, and we have Hertha. I'm happy to analyze Hertha back to the Bundesliga against Gladbach. Not the best start for Shalke. Hertha, not Shalke. I was confused with Shalke. Gladbach, Hertha. Good start of the season for Gladbach. Radek with 4 points. Last season, they had a difficult one, so they want to challenge the European spots again, whereas for Hertha, but the start of the season, only 1 point. They lost the derby. They were able to draw against Frankfurt, so I'm not sure if you see them again this season close to the relegation, and as we saw, for instance, the last season.
To be honest, I hoped that they will go high in the standings, but I think it's another difficult season for them. In this game, as you said, I see Gladbach as the favorite because, as I mentioned in the videos when you've been on holiday, that I expect that Gladbach will be much better in this season and go back to the international spots. And they had a good start in the season, and they have been my safe bet last game day. And they just didn't win the game because of a hand penalty in the last second against Schalke. So was bad luck, but at least we didn't lose money. We got our money back. So that's not a bad bet. And on this game, they expect Gladbach also to win, but the odds of 1.55 are really not good to bet at. And we don't know much about Hertha at the stage of the season. Maybe they have more potential as I expected last year and the year before. If they are on the same level as always, they will lose the game. But it's not worth to bet on it with these odds, and I can't see any interesting bets in this game. So just skip it, and we have more interesting games on this game day.
Okay, let's see if you find better offs in Augsburg, Mainz. Mainz, we enjoyed them last season, and also a good start for them. 4 points, beating Bochum, drawing with Union Berlin, whereas for Augsburg, it was the biggest surprise of the previous match day, beating Leverkusen away. I guess we didn't expect that.
I think no one expected that. Show me a tip game where someone said Augsburg will win, and I hand him over 10 euro. I think it's very, very rare. And in this game, that's a bit complicated because I thought Augsburg won't win a lot of games in the season, and they will maybe be relegated after this season. And now it seems that their new coach, 𝐜𝐿_𝐷𝗀𝐻, does a good job. He was just no pro coach before. He was coach of Borussia Dortmund second team, so League 4 to the first league. That's a kind of difference, I thought, but maybe that's the right coach for Augsburg at the moment. But one game is just speculation, and Mainz, as we've seen in the last season, and it seems to continue, they're able to compete with every team, and especially against Augsburg. I don't think Augsburg is the favorite here. On the other hand, the odds are pro Mainz. Mainz is the favorite with 2.3. I think this is a kind of too low. I expect in a tip game, I would say this is a draw, maybe 1-1 or something like that. And the only odds I see here is betting on a draw with 1/3 of a unit. You get odds of 3.6, and because I can't say a winner here. But to be honest, this is one of the most boring games on this game day.
Much more interesting. The next one, Leverkusen Hoffenheim. We mentioned that Augsburg was the biggest surprise, beating Leverkusen 0 points for Seoane's men. And remember that this year they are playing Champions League, so the pressure is on them facing Hoffenheim with 3 points because they were able to beat Bochum at home. 1.7 for Leverkusen to win this game.
Yes, and it's kind of the first biggest surprise in the season because Leverkusen is last in the standings, position 18, and I expected them to be one of the best teams in the first games because I think they have a great team as they had last year. They are Champions League contender, and yeah, I think they are really good, and they have to start collecting points. But on the other hand, Hoffenheim is not easy to beat, and as we've seen, they won their home game easily, maybe easily. They were behind 2-0 against Bochum, and they won 3-2. So that's impressive that even if they are behind, they're still dangerous and they are able to score goals. So in this game, I don't see Leverkusen as a favorite, and I also expect a draw here. We have the option of very, very high odds on a draw of 4.5 here. Compare odds on Oddspedia. I think the odds will go down maybe as Leverkusen is not the clear favorite after the first two games. And betting on this 4.5, I only need 1/4 of a unit to win 1 unit because the odds are so great. That means we have low risk and high reward if we win this bet on a draw. The other option is betting on goals, but the odds on over are really not great. So this is you don't get a lot of money. So I prefer the high odds with a little bit more risk, but a lot of better reward. And that's why also this game in my eyes is a good option for a draw. It's not no game which I put in an 𝐿𝐴𝐴 or in a safe bet, but yeah, you have to manage your money and from time to time putting a small amount of money on bigger single game odds is better than combining a lot of so-called safe games to an 𝐿𝐴𝐴 in my eyes.
Indeed, and sometimes betting on underdogs can give us good money. So if you go for a draw here, you have really good odds. Next game is Dortmund Werder Bremen. Really good start for Dortmund in the post-Haaland era. 6 points out of 6, beating two good teams, Leverkusen and Freiburg. The calendar was not easy for Dortmund, and now they face a team like Werder Bremen with no defeats yet, no victories as well. 2 draws.
Yeah, that's another positive surprise that Werder Bremen came to the league and yeah, didn't lose a game, and they played with heart and they have a great audience. They have a lot of fans, so they're a very traditional club in Germany, and so yeah, I like them seeing not losing, but against Dortmund, the chances are very rare that they continue to make points, and Dortmund is for sure not unbeatable. As you said, they had good opponents with Leverkusen and Freiburg. That is right in the last season. In this season so far, Leverkusen was not the hardest nut to crack, and Freiburg also was a very, very close game until the 80th minutes. Dortmund was behind, and then they scored 3 goals and won the game. So Dortmund is not that good as they might seem after this result. So Bremen has a chance, but betting on an underdog like Bremen is way too dangerous. So I won't bet on Dortmund here because I don't trust them at the stage of the season. They have a lot of personal problems, I think, and the team is not from the names. I really don't think they are so good than the years before. In the end, I expect Leverkusen and Leipzig to perform better as Dortmund. But at this game, for sure, they might win, but the odds are bad. And the only thing I would consider is maybe that Bremen will even score a goal. And if you bet on both teams to score, you get decent odds around. I have to load it here. It's not loading. Yeah, but I think the odds on both teams to score with 1.6. I expected more, to be honest. So this is also not really great to bet on. And if you have a great favorite on the one side and a huge underdog on the other hand, it's never a good option to bet on the favorite. And you have to find arguments to bet on the underdog. And in this case, yeah, maybe you have some reasons for Bremen, but I won't put money on it.
Next game is Stuttgart Freiburg. If you mentioned that we had a big favorite in the previous one, Dortmund Werder Bremen, here the odds are very balanced, as we can see, basically the same for Stuttgart and Freiburg. And what I'm surprised, Radek, is that Freiburg was one of the best defenses last season. They actually performed really well in this start of the season, 3 points for them, but especially they are conceding a lot of goals, whereas for Stuttgart, a team that we know that they've been struggling in the past season, at least they haven't lost, and they played against Leipzig, for instance, 2 points so far.
Yeah, that's good for Stuttgart and good for us, because Stuttgart has pretty much the same odds as Freiburg. But comparing both teams, I think Freiburg is the better one. And if you have two teams with equal odds, Asian handicap is an option to bet on the, in your eyes or in my eyes, better team. And this is Freiburg. And we get odds of 1.86 on Asian handicap 0 on Freiburg. Means if there's a draw, we get our money back. So this is a good single bet. If it comes to an 𝐿𝐿𝐴, I would love to bet on Freiburg double chance, which is 1.5. And because I don't think Freiburg is losing this game. And for sure, there's always a draw risk in the Bundesliga. That's why I love to bet on draws. But in this game, I expect Freiburg to maybe win or maybe a draw, but it doesn't matter, as we bet on double chance and get odds of 1.5. And this is really good for an 𝐿𝐴, I think.
Next game is Wolfsburg Shalke. I was referring to Shalke before I got confused with Hertha. Shalke coming back to the Bundesliga, and I'm so happy to analyze them again. A historic club with 1 point only so far after the draw against Gladbach. Now they have another tough game against Wolfsburg, but with Wolfsburg, it's kind of the same. I guess we expect more than what we saw last season. It's true that they played Champions League, but only 1 point. We also have to say, Radek, that they played against Bayern Munich, so it's normal to lose that game.
Yes, and they did a job which was okay. So they just got 2 goals. There were 2 different offside goals, but at the end, losing in Munich only with 2-0, it's not a bad result. And at the end, Wolfsburg is now playing at home, and we see great odds for them against Schalke. I don't expect Schalke to make a point here, as they did against Gladbach, which was very, very lucky. And I think the team of Wolfsburg is kind of underrated in this season, because I think they have a really talented young team with Riedle Baco, Maxi Arnold, Patrick Wilmer, Lukas Metscher, and one of the best keepers with �࿗𝐿𝐴. And so Wolfsburg has a great team, a new coach with 𝐜𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐿, which can make some kind of effect in the first games, and he will suck at the end someday. But at the end, I think he can motivate the players, and that's why I think Wolfsburg has some potential to win some games at the next time, and especially against Schalke at home, they have to win. I love the odds of 1.9 on them. Really great single bet. And also, if you go to 𝐿𝐴, I would bet on Asian handicap 0 on Wolfsburg, which is odds of 1.4. And yeah, this is one of my favorite bets on this game day, as yeah, Schalke is a newly promoted team, and for that, I think the odds on them are too high.
All right, good bet. Then we have in Wolfsburg to win here. Then we have a very good game. Union Berlin, Leipzig, with Leipzig still favorite, of course, but no victories for them yet. Only 2 points. Szoboszlai was sent off in the last game, so the Hungarian won't play this game against Union Berlin that they started the season. Radek, as good as they did also last season, 4 points, winning the derby, drawing against Mainz. I'm still surprised with the performance the last years of Union Berlin. Still early days, but good start of the season for the capital team.
Yeah, for sure. And I also didn't expect that. And they keep on moving. They just playing their pressing and aggressive style. And yeah, especially at home, Union Berlin is a team they can beat every club. That's important in this game, because Leipzig, as we've seen in the last season and also in this season, they struggle a lot if they play away. And I don't understand that, because if you look at the team, there are really great players. And now they have Timo Werner back, one of the best strikers in Germany. You can like him, you can hate him. I really don't like him as well, but he's very fast and he's scoring from time to time. And combined with another great players like 𝐿 and Olmo and Szoboszlai, and they have one of the best strikers in the league. And in this game, for sure, if you look at the quality of the players, Leipzig should be the better team. And I'm a bit surprised that the odds on Leipzig are that high. We get odds of 2.1, because Union Berlin is a strong home team and Leipzig is a weak away team. At least they've been in the last season. But I think that might change, and we see value on Leipzig here. As a single bet, 2.1 is okay. But in every game, I like to just insurance a potential draw. And betting on Leipzig Asian handicap 0 on 1.5 is also a great bet for an ACCA here.
It's true what you say. No, last season Leipzig struggled a lot away from home. Even they had difficulties to qualify for the Champions League because of that away form. And this is a tough game. Perhaps this is why the odds are around 2.1 for Leipzig to win in Berlin. And we have 2 more games on Sunday. Frankfurt, Cologne, first point of the season for Frankfurt after the defeats against Bayern and Real Madrid. So now is the good option for them to win the game and start over the season, because remember also that last season they won the Europa League, but in the Bundesliga they were really, really disappointing. But against Cologne won't be easy. Radek, we like them a lot last season, and also they had a very good start this season with 4 points.
Yes, and that's also very interesting that Cologne seems to keep on their good run from last season, because I thought after one good season, Cologne will go down in the standings. And it seems that Steffen Baumgart is not just a one-hit wonder as a coach. He can motivate Cologne in this season as well. And that's why I think the odds on Frankfurt are way too low, as Frankfurt didn't prove in this season so far that they are really a good team or even a better team than Cologne. And that's why I don't think Frankfurt is the favorite, and they don't deserve odds of 2.1. And that's just a good opportunity to bet on Cologne, not as a winner. If we have high odds on a team which is equal or it might maybe even better, I always look at the Asian handicaps to just bet on maybe draw no bet or double chance. In this case, we can bet on double chance Cologne and still get good odds of 1.75 around. I like that as a single bet. For an ACCA, yeah, also an option, but I'm a bit aware because Frankfurt is still playing at home and they, yeah, they have a better team than last year. They just have to work together better, and if they can do it, they also can win this game for sure. But the options or the chances that Cologne makes at least 1 point are better in kind of chance and risk management.
Double chance then for Cologne, 1.75. And the last game, I guess it's going to be a challenge for you to find good odds in Bochum, Bayern Munich, because again, Bayern Munich had a great start of the season, scoring many goals against Frankfurt, against Wolfsburg, with Musiala especially playing really, really well, and Bochum 0 points for them. So this is a no-brainer for Bayern Munich. The problem is that the odds are only 1.2.
Yes, and you can't win any money betting on Bayern Munich win, as we've seen last year in Bochum. Just remind, Bochum won 4-1 or something like that against Bayern Munich. And so for sure, I don't think this will be a repetition. But betting on a so high favorite in this case, I don't like. So as we have no value on each other side at the end of the game, I like to have a look at the odds on first half, because the interesting thing is, if you look at the first 2 games of Bayern Munich in this season, they made about 4 games against Frankfurt in the first half, maybe 5 goals, or the most of them, and also against Leipzig in the Super Cup game. They only were good in the first half. And another thing, against Wolfsburg, they made both goals in the first half. So what I expect, and I know why this is the case, that there is a lot of rivalry between the players of Bayern Munich, and they have a so big team with a lot of great players competing for the first 11 to start in the game. And that's why everyone who starts for Bayern Munich is highly motivated and wants to show that he deserves to play. Because if he doesn't show in the first 45 minutes that he's a great player, like Gnabry or Sané or Müller, Musiala, they will be exchanged, and the other one comes into the game and shows that he's better. And that's why I expect Bayern Munich to start good against Bochum. And I have an interesting halftime bet that there will be more than 1.5 goals in halftime 1 in this game. That means if there are 2 goals between them, even maybe Bochum scores a goal or Bayern Munich scores twice, and whatever happens, we get odds of 1.77, and this is not a bad bet. Way better than betting on something at the end. And the other great thing betting on halftime is that you only have to watch 45 minutes, collect money, and go enjoy your Sunday evening.
Exactly. Last season was 4-2 actually for Bochum when they were playing at home, and Bayern Munich won 7-0 when they were playing in the Allianz. A lot of goals indeed in both games between these 2 teams. Well, Radek, let's see which is your favorite bet for this match day 3.
Yeah, I apologize. It's kind of lame on this game day, because I think the safe bet, if there is a so-called safe bet, is that Wolfsburg is not losing at home against Shalke. We get Asian handicap 0 on Wolfsburg, means if there's a draw, we get our money back. The odds are 1.4. I'm not too enthusiastic about this game, but I won't put too much money on it, because as we've seen last season, Wolfsburg is a really difficult team to bet on, and Schalke is a new team, and maybe the motivation is higher. So that is the disclaimer. But at the end, I think there is still the best risk-reward ratio in this game, and that's why 1.4 is my safe bet on this. And I also like the other one I said at the end, between Bayern Munich and Bochum, first half more than 1.5 goals, and this would be my second option.
And I mentioned at the beginning that you nail both ACCA so far this season, so let's see the ACCA for match day 3 in the Bundesliga.
Yes, there also is my safe bet on Wolfsburg, Asian handicap 0 with 1.4, combined with Freiburg, double chance that they at least draw or win the game against Stuttgart, odds of 1.5, and Leipzig not losing against Union Berlin, Asian handicap on Leipzig in the away game is 1.5. Combining these three games gives us odds of 3.2. That's okay for a 𝐿𝐴𝐶𝐴, I think. And even if there is one draw or two draws, we don't lose our money. We still win a small potential. And that's better than, losing money, I think. And all good things are three. I hope I will still be lucky on this game day.
He's asking too much. He's asking too much, but so far so good in this summer in the Bundesliga. Thank you, Radek. Tell us, guys, what do you think about the ACCA, of course, and if you back some money in the previous days with Radek's tips, because they were very successful. We try always, or Radek tries always his best to give you the best tips. Remember, press the like and see you next week, Radek. Thank you.
Thank you. It was fun. Bye.